So what we've been doing this month is we're focusing on comics. So for the first 3 weeks, we're just going to go through like comic making process and then the different skills that we use when we're making comics. And then for the final week of September, we're going to have a paid camp where everyone collaborates on a comic book in a week and make it together. We're really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to join us for that, Scott said signups are open online right now. But if you want to just stick around with us for the previous classes, we're going to be talking about character today. So we're going to be doing a lot of brainstorming on character and talking about personality and how do we get personality into our drawings. Normally I wait a couple minutes for people to show up, but we have a lot to get through today. So I'm going to start by showing you guys a video. This is a video that Every Frame of Painting on YouTube did. It's a channel where they talk about like cinematography and editing and things like that, but they did a really, really good essay on Chuck and Chuck's characters and Chuck's process. So I'm going to screen this for you guys. And while you're watching it, think about what he's saying about characters and about how you can apply that to your characters, because that's what we're going to be doing for class today. Yeah, if you want to check that out on your own time, it's on YouTube. The channel's called Every Frame of Painting. Really, really interesting stuff for you guys who want to, especially if you guys want to study film. But yeah, that was my favorite breakdown of Chuck's work and his approach to character. So what we are going to do today, keeping all that stuff about like discipline and character wants and things like that in mind, we are going to brainstorm our own characters that we can use in the stories that hopefully you talked about last time, but even if you haven't, basically today is just going to be about brainstorming character ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to do a breakdown of Marvin, because I know the starting point you guys should have had last week was Marvin blowing up the moon. Was that right? Did that evolve? Yeah, okay, cool. Got some head nods. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to do sort of as if I was reverse engineering the creation of Marvin. We're going to talk about how to build up character. So the first thing is that this is a process. We're not going to have like a finished character right off of the bat. They're going to evolve. All the Looney Tune characters, they kind of evolved over time. But what I'm going to start with are keywords. So I usually keep it to like 2 or 3 things that are going to sum up the character as a whole. And so how the character looks, how the character moves, and then how the character behaves are generally speaking going to come back down to those 3 things. So for Marvin, he's a Martian, right? He's from Mars. He's not an Earthling. He is brainy, right? He's very smart. He's always inventing those ray guns and whatnot and space travel and things like that. And then the last word I'm going to come up with is angry, right? Like that's his general disposition. He's sort of frustrated and angry with everything, right? So these are 3 very, very broad words, but I think they kind of sum up Marvin and how Marvin looks and how Marvin acts. So I'm going to sketch Marvin real quick. If you want to sketch him along with me, you can go ahead and do that, take notes, whatever is going to help you remember. The largest, most obvious part of Marvin's character design is his head, right? He has a really huge head. His eyes, really huge eyes, and the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest body. And I'm being really, really quick and sketchy with this. This is not like about finished drawings. This is about getting like a sense of the character. So he has this huge head. That comes back to this bit, the brainy bit. Literally the biggest part of his body is his head, is his brain. So it's almost like he's a giant bobblehead. All of his weight is up here. And then he has this tiny little body, which makes the head seem even bigger. It's like a child thing, child head. Giant head, like he's gonna tip over from the weight of it almost. And then this huge helmet. I'll draw the helmet over here too. And then the next part of Marvin, I'm going to talk about, he's very, very angry all the time. It's not like a ragey kind of anger. It's more of a frustrated anger, but he's usually making this face, right? Things get on his nerves. Things get on his nerves. So that's going to affect his facial expression, right? He's usually making these kind of eyes. But that's also going to affect the way he stands, the way he walks, the way he runs, the way he moves, the kind of situations he finds himself in. He's like angry. So you notice here I drew really, really straight body. He tends to be really stiff. Draw this other. Usually it takes me a couple of drawings to kind of get the feel of what I'm doing. Maybe he's like, hello, no. I'm going to use a bunch of straight lines. Like here's his body. Very stiff. I'm just thinking about, I'm not thinking about getting his proportions right. I'm not even thinking about like making it look like Marvin. I'm just thinking about like the stiffness and the anger of him. I'm going to make this gun. I don't know what this gun's going to look like. You know, it's not like on model or anything. I'm just trying to figure out how to make Marvin look as angry as possible. So this other arm, I'm going to keep it completely straight and clench fist. Right? Make him really solid on the ground. His feet are together to create this angle like this on the ground. Here's that brush thing he has on his helmet. And then just furious eyes, the angriest eyebrows I can make. Angry, angry, angry. Whatever he's angry at is somewhere over here. So I'm going to have his little pupils fixed on that. Right. So you have brainy, huge head, tiny, tiny little body. Angry, he's all stiff. He clenches his fists all the time. He has angry eyebrows all the time. The last one, Martian. So he's not human. He has like arms and legs like a human. This is mostly manifested in his costume, which we're not going to talk about a whole lot today. We'll talk about costuming later. But one of the things that Chuck did was a lot of research. So Mars, where Marvin is from, is also the Roman god of war. So Marvin is dressed in Roman centurion armor inspired things. A lot of students ask me sometimes why Marvin has like a skirt. He has this little like dress thing. It's based off of the Roman centurion armor thing. They'd have like, if you guys seen Hercules, it's this little skirt thing like that. like a belt. But because he's super angry all the time and we want to use those stiff lines, he has this skinny little waist and that skirt thing like sticks out like this in little sections. So that's more Marvin's like twist on it. But it comes from this. It comes from research. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. Researching your characters helps you get more ideas that you can use when you're making those characters. So this is the kind of stuff that we're going to do today. Not finished drawings, but feeling out what our character is generally going to look like, but mostly what they're going to act like, what their mood is like. I want to really focus on personality. Now, because Marvin being the way he is, like a angry, like frustrated scientist, there are things that poses that he would never make, right? You would never see Marvin like leaning on something. And have him, I don't know.
Nalene, there's a question. Should I work on a character I already have or make a new one?
Work on whatever if you want to use your character for the comic book, you know, work on it, but see if you can improve it, right? Like make that personality more clear. If you really want to use it for your story. I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to make this work, but I know it's not going to work. Right, so this like thing, Marvin leaning, right? It looks wrong. Marvin would never do this. He's too like straight up and down, like straight laced. This is like a Bugs pose, right? Because Bugs is really laid back. Marvin is not. So when you really start to get to know your character by drawing your character over and over in different ways, you start to run into things where like, okay, that is a no. And that's where you start to understand your character. With Chuck talking about discipline, what are the things that you're not going to do? So for Marvin, you wouldn't really do a pose like this because that's not his personality. That's not who he is. Pull this back. Did we have any more questions? Just in general or on Marvin in particular? Before I move on.
Did you see the question in the chat?
No. Yeah, let me look.
Tater Tot had a question.
Let me see. Is it going to be like newspaper comics or each person will? Okay, so I think this question is for the paid camp. It's going to be a book. So we're going to together collaborate on one story, and then everyone is going to get a different page. We're going to have to find a way to divide it up evenly. But everyone's going to get a different section of the comic book, and you can draw in your own style, but we're all going to be drawing the same story. For here, we're just working on the skills. It's like practice, right? The skills that we're going to need for the camp. So for here, feel free to use your own characters and do your own thing. But if you are interested in doing the paid camp for the last week of September, that's what we're going to be doing. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Cool. All right. So I'm going to segue into brainstorming my own character. And so from this point, don't draw what I'm drawing. You know, you can watch me what I'm drawing. I'm going to kind of talk myself through it because I'm mostly brainstorming. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do today. But again, if you guys have your own characters, feel free to draw your own characters from here on out. The place I think I'm going to start with, Chuck drew Marvin without any mouth. He emphasized the eyes, really big eyes. So I'm going to draw a character that's like all mouth, I think. Maybe his eyes are covered by hair.
There was another question. Who's teaching the camp?
All of us are. Yeah, so we're switching off just like we normally do. Maybe it's like the surfer dude kind of guy. He talks all the time. And then Marvin is short. So maybe this guy's really tall. And he's stiff, so I'm going to make this guy like a noodle. Noodle guy. I'm drawing a human. I don't know why. I default towards humans, I guess. Again, don't feel like you have to do that. A lot of people draw animals. Maybe his knees are always bent. He's really bendy. So again, I'm trying to be really loose. I'm not worried about what this guy's proportions are. I'm not really worried about what his design is, costume design. I'm just trying to get like this feeling that I'm going for. Kind of looseness. So I still don't quite know who this guy is yet. Usually we'll take you a couple drawings since we're drawing fast. Ends up being helpful. Maybe the hair's more like this. And I'm giving him a nose so it kind of sticks out from the hair. Like this. Maybe I'll make him like, if it's in space, maybe he like space surfs. Making a really long, spindly. Loose arms. He's really happy all the time. I really like contrast. I like when things contrast. So I'll start from there, and maybe I won't finish here. But it just gives me a place to start off with. Maybe he's like upset. He doesn't want the moon to be destroyed because then he can't surf. No more waves. If you guys have any questions, just shout them out as I continue to think about this. Maybe he's really friendly, and because Marvin is not. Big smile. Maybe he thinks Marvin just needs to hug it out. So if I have two characters that I know are going to be interacting, I try to draw them how they would interact too. Marvin is furious. No. Hug. And then Marvin. I think they're going to be adversaries, so Marvin is going to want to shoot this guy. He's going to shrink ray him or something. So I need to decide what he's going to do. I'm going to make this smaller. He's so dopey. Yeah, maybe that's when he's like, hey, hug it out, talk it out instead.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So I have a butterfly kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
With how the character's personality, it would totally kind of hunch over at some point. But the more I try and draw it in that position, the more I realize I can't.
What kind of personality would it have? She has butterfly.
So most of the time, she's like moody. That's her personality.
Moody?
So like, well, not necessarily moody, but like sensitive is what I meant to say.
Sensitive?
So
okay.
Like, punch over, but I keep trying to draw her in the position and I can't.
Okay. See, hunch over. I'm trying to think. So do you mean, would she be hunched over like she's looking at something, or?
Just like a kind of sad kind of position.
Sad? Okay. So maybe. Yeah, I know you've shown me your butterfly character before. I don't quite remember her design, but I'm just going to draw like a quick sad person. So let me zoom in here. So what I've got here, it's a little subtle, but arm down right to the side. Here's the neck. And then the head, there's like a ton of gravity on the head. So it's tilted down. And I have the eyes over here tilted down. This would be like where the ears are. And then if yours is a butterfly, I was thinking, let me draw this better. The wings would be kind of down, like folded down like that, maybe. I know you had really big wings, but maybe when she's sad, they like fold down. Something like that.
Yes.
That'll give you some ideas?
Yeah, and part of the reason my character is so hard to draw in more bent over positions is because her body shape is curved triangles and a rectangle.
It's curved triangles and a rectangle. Would it help if you showed me?
Probably.
So I'm going to stop share so you can show me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just started my video. This is, my other one's really rough, so I'll just show my turnaround sheet, which I got out to make sure I got the right body shape, because I haven't drawn this character up to scale anything but a quick.
Okay, so she's like an oval kind of
an
body.
Oval kind of
yeah,
body.
Yeah.
The quick one I did, it's a little too tall, but.
Okay. Oh, no, the one, okay. I like this one. It was a little like doodle thing that you did, but it was something like this. Oh, thanks, Scott. I forgot to share.
You can't see your
Yeah, I forgot to share. Thanks for reminding me. I got too into thinking you all can see what I'm drawing all the time. Okay, so you drew this kind of shape like this. I kind of like that, like if her legs came off like that and here are her shoulders. And then you have this nice curve, so her head can be down like this. Maybe she's in profile, you know, and then her wings come off.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, when I tried to start drawing that, I just sort of gravitated towards the potato chip.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a perfectly fine shape for a character.
Yeah.
And make her eyebrows all sad. Yeah, I like this where the wings kind of fold off like that. All right, hopefully that helps give you some ideas.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, good. We have time. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna run out of time. Okay. So for this guy, the point where I'm at right now, I'm gonna do this laid back chill, like surfer guy. Let's just say like empathetic for right now. I think it's really funny to have a character that like hates everything and is annoyed with everything, and then you have another character that like loves everything. So I have a couple thumbnails. Ideally, the process, you would draw a bunch of thumbnails, figure out kind of who your character is, how they would move, how they would walk, how they would run, what they would be doing in your story, how they would be relating to the other characters in your story. And then you would take those thumbnails and do like a more finished version where you tie down the nuts and bolts of what they're actually going to look like. And that just comes with like practice and research. Maybe I'll do a different nose. And then just experimenting too. But basically, we don't want to just do one drawing and then leave it at that. That's not going to get us our best thing. We want to think through this whole process. Maybe his hair's super long. I'm also thinking, how am I going to get him in space? Little. Feet. Maybe he's an astronaut. That'd be weird. That'd be super weird. But it would be funny. A little more bow-legged. Because like spacesuits, they're like baggy wetsuits. This is bagginess. So he has all his weight kind of down towards the floor, instead of being up on the top of his head like the way Marvin is. It's all the way down here. These nice boots. I'm not gonna bother trying to make a good hand. I'm just trying to get like the feeling. Right, like I don't, this is not stuff that you would like show people and be like, hey, this is my finished character. It's more like thinking out what your character is. And then maybe you'll throw stuff out. You won't keep everything. That's okay. Over here. I'm running out of room. I'll try a round nose. You should be more friendly. Looking at something. And it's this huge rocket. That's gonna blow up the Earth. All right, I saw a raised hand, so we're gonna go to that raised hand real quick. Kat, did you have a question or?
I wanted to share.
Uh-huh.
So.
Okay, yeah, her leaning over and then the wings down.
Yeah.
Does she have eyebrows?
No.
No, okay.
Whenever I want to add like an eyebrow detail or something, or if I'm drawing the character big, sorry, hold on. I was listening to something for school. If whenever I want to do something, or if I'm drawing her big, she has some goggles that she'll have on in some scenes.
Oh, okay.
Her bug-like eyes look really weird when she's bigger than this.
Well, one thing you can do, even though in real life goggles won't change shape, in cartoons you can make anything change shape. Like Spider-Man's mask. If he has to have an expression, he has the mask on. They just changed the shape of his like goggle eyes, and it doesn't really make sense like in real life. But it's a cartoon, so you can do it. So you can totally change the shape of the goggles, and they kind of work like eyebrows. You can totally do that too.
I do.
Yeah. Does anyone, we have about 15 minutes left. Does anybody have sketches that they want to share? Whether you're struggling with them or whether you're really proud of them or not, whatever, it's cool.
Here's Tater Tot.
Excellent. You got some more Tater Tot? Nice. All right, tell us about this guy.
This is Ralph. He's a floppy monster dog.
He
really likes bread.
He really likes bread. I like the one in the lower corner where he's sitting up like a puppy, like he wants a treat.
Thank you.
What's his personality like?
He's a floppy monster dog, so he's very happy all the time.
All the time? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Did we have anybody else that wanted to share?
Here's Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, excellent.
So I made these sketches. This is Bingo Angry.
Ooh, bring it a little closer to the camera. Let's give it a chance to focus. So I want everybody to see. Oh, I love how like gestural and loose your lines are. That's great.
Yeah, here's another one. Sorry.
Nice.
And I drew sort of a text view and a side view.
Uh-huh. That's very cool. And then what kind of character did you say this was? Is it a bobcat?
Bingo.
Very
Bingo,
nice.
kangaroo.
And a kangaroo?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. You should try one with his whole body. Yeah, try doing a body one because you got the face down. All right. I see some other hands. Was Heather Rose
Heather
the next
Rose
one,
and
or?
Liliana.
Okay. Nice. So tell us about this character.
Well,
Is it a squid or an octopus?
it's an octopus squid.
It's an octopus? Octopus, squid, it's both? That's great. And then what kind of like personality does this octopus squid have?
Well, kind of easily angered, but
Mm-hmm.
at times when it might be in a good mood, and I'm just like actually very nice.
Uh-huh. So it could either be in a really good mood or in a really, really bad mood. Very nice, very nice. I like what you read on the top.
Very nice, very nice.
Okay, and then what do we have here? All right, tell us about this person.
This is Flown.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what he is.
No, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're not going to have it all figured out at once.
Yeah, he's he's more calm.
More calm? Okay. Mm-hmm. What kind of like species is it?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. And like it looks kind of like it could be an alien extraterrestrial or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think
Maybe
he's probably an alien, but I have no idea. I don't know what he is.
Yeah, like a different planet other than Mars. Maybe that could be cool, or from a different galaxy. Yeah, it's very cool. All right. Who was next?
Here's Victoria Vienna.
Hey, Victoria.
Victoria got kind of frustrated with her, so I guess I'll just show mine.
Uh-huh. Ooh. Is that the ice cream cone?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so cute. And I like your Marvin, too. Your Marvin looks excellent.
Yeah. Fine.
It's okay. They don't have to be finished. Yeah, they don't have to be done. Anything. Ooh, very nice. Okay, what's the one? There's like a band of light over it. The one on the, yeah, that one.
She tried to make it a piece of cooked salmon, but was having trouble.
Oh, okay. Cooked salmon. I like the food characters. I really like food.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Did you
It's
have
hard to make it look like actual fish.
Uh-huh.
When it's
Well, sometimes if you get stuck, you gotta look things up. Yeah,
Okay.
Just do a quick search. I have to do that all the time. All right. Did we have anybody else with their hand up? Who wanted to go next? Were we good? Okay. Very cool. You have 10 more minutes to work on these things. You guys can keep working. I think I am running out of room on this one, so I'm going to make a new layer. Kind of take this down. All right, I really like this pose. So I'm going to go over on top of this pose and try to get a more tied down character, playing with the ideas that I've been kind of mulling over in my head. And I'm not following the previous lines I made exactly. I'm just kind of using it as a guide. See, I'm pushing his face out a little bit. Sure. So pull his body back like this. Maybe I'm going to stick with the astronaut thing. And maybe he's like surfing in space. My next step on this guy would definitely be to like actually look up and research surfers. Because then you pick up on things that you wouldn't normally. It's been a while. Make these big boots. Dun, 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 dun.
Couple comments.
Yes.
Heather Rose says, Nayleen, I like your character. He's funny. And Tater Tot says you could have him surfing on plasma, like solar waves.
Yes. Oh, that, yes.
Oh, sorry, that was Liliana.
Liliana. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you when you're going through this process, things always change. Maybe there's a rocket tied down to the bottom of it. You know, like I didn't start with like, oh, he's gonna be surfing on like space plasma to defeat Marvin the Martian blowing up the moon. Like, you know, you don't start there. You got to start somewhere. So you just pick a couple things that you think would be fun or interesting. And then just see where it takes you, where you come up with. I'm going to write this. Space, surf. Wow,
I want to show something.
What was that?
I want to show something.
Very cool. I'm going to stop sharing so we can get some other people to share.
Is that Nathaniel?
What happened?
I think so. I know Evie had her hand up.
Okay.
And then I know someone else wanted to share too.
And here's Evie first.
All right. Hi, Evie.
Hi. This is my character who.
All right. So tell us about this character. I know I've seen them before.
This is Kiji.
Uh-huh.
She's my main protagonist, and she's really annoying.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Always complaining about everything.
Uh-huh.
She's loud.
Uh-huh. I like the one where her eyes are giant stars.
Oh, thank you.
So she really like fast-paced and like goes through emotions very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the impression I get from those drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right, who was the next person who wanted to share?
Nathaniel?
Nathaniel.
So I drew a full body version of Bingo.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, I like his body shape. It's a very, very classic cartoon body shape. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice. I want to make sure everybody has a chance to share. So shout out if you are ready to share. Okay. gonna go back to this. Yes, all right. I have to remember that. Plasma. So one thing that's gonna have to figure out is how to get a helmet, space type helmet, that fits all of this and still looks right. I'm still not quite there with that. Maybe it's like a weird shape. It's like the shape of his head. I'm just gonna give him 3 fingers to make things simple. That's kind of like what I got now. I'm not worried about his costume because kind of figure that out later. Let's duplicate this. So I'm going to try a different helmet. Maybe it's shaped like a square. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Or maybe it's cut out so the hair is free. Kind of like a hazmat suit now, but we'll go with it. Yeah. Oh, we are almost out of time. You get to drawing and then you get sucked into it and then the time just like shoots by. Okay, any last minute questions about our characters or just about stuff in general before we have to wrap it up? Now is the time. Any last minute sharing? Go ahead and raise your hand. All right, cool. I'm gonna draw for the next 2 minutes just to make sure I got all our time. But thank you guys for coming. There's going to be another one of these tomorrow that Lee's gonna do on storyboarding. And then we're just gonna do this again for the next 2 weeks, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, talking about comic book stuff. And then again, just so you're up to date, the last week is going to be a paid class where everybody collaborates on the same comic book story. So look that up on our blog if you want to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, that is the Joker on my door. My brother is a huge Batman fan, so he got me that. I have a bunch of characters all over my house. Love being inspired by other artists. Okay, cool. Any last minute questions before we sign off? All right, cool. Well, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully you will be able to make it to all of our comic book lessons and help us out with our book, because we're going to need a lot of help. Many hands makes for light work. So thank you guys. Thank you for sharing all of your characters. I love seeing them. And then I will see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Scott, as always.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Miss Naylene.
Thank you.